45%. That's how much more you will spend just because someone changed the air you breathe. In 1995, a neurologist walked into a Las Vegas casino with a canister of perfume. He sprayed it over one section of slot machines. Didn't change the games, didn't change the odds, just the air. That just smell, 1 cent. A casino attacks all 5. At the same time, the architecture, the light, the sound, the floor under your feet, every square inch, engineered with one goal: keep you inside and take your money. And the worst part, you feel great the whole time. And that's the point. Actually, you are doing it right now, sitting still, watching a screen, losing track of time. Sound familiar? In the late 90s, a former gambling addict published a book, not about recovery, about building the perfect trap. I kind of respect that honestly. His rule shaped every casino floor on earth for 30 years, but then someone broke every single one of them and made more. Oh, and you have probably heard they pump pure oxygen into the air to keep you awake. We will get to that. His name was Bill Friedman, and he knew the game from the inside. Literally, he was a problem gambler himself. Quit, then spent years studying 80 casinos across Nevada, photographing layouts, measuring corridors, timing how long people stayed. He put it all into one book, designing casinos to dominate the competition, and his core idea was pretty brutal. Gaming equipment is the decor. Everything else? A distraction, no art, no open spaces, just machines. Everywhere. That book was 1995, but walk into any casinos built in the last 30 years, you are still walking through his blueprint. Here's a number that should bother you. 75% of a casino's revenue comes from just 20% of its floor space. They know exactly which square meter earns. Nothing is random. Supermarkets attack 1 cent. Sound. To control how fast you walk and what you buy. A casino uses all 5, all at once. Friedman designed casinos like labyrinths. No straight lines, no visible exits. The path to the bathroom runs through the maximum number of gaming tables. And the slot machines, they're not just games. There are walls. In the corridors, no sharp turns, everything curves, there's a reason. A 90-degree angle forces your brain off autopilot. You have to consciously decide where to go next. And every conscious decision is a risk, because you might decide to leave. Paul Grandin, the animal behavior researcher, proves the same principle. Animals don't panic on curved paths, they follow their arc, can't see the end, so they just keep walking. Remember the curved corridors at airports? Casinos took that and went further. There are not straight lines here. But the floor is just the start. Wait until you see what they do to the air. Zero clocks, zero windows, temperature, artificially cool, 24/7. But those are just obvious tricks. The real weapon is the sky, the Venetian. Over 100,000 square feet of hand-painted sky, even at 3 in the morning. Color temperature 5500 Kelvin. That's the exact frequency that suppresses melatonin. Your brain never gets its night signal, ours just vanish. You have seen photos of casino carpets. They're hideous. That's the point. A chaotic visual pattern does something specific. It overwhelms the brain. Your eyes hunt for a resting point, and they find one. Right at eye level. One on the slot machine screens. The carpet is a visual leash. Also hides stains, cigarette burns, drop chips. Practical and psychological. Same surface. Dr. Alan Hirsch. Here's why his experiment should bother you. Smell is the only human sense that skips your brain's filter completely. Goes straight to memory and emotion. No processing, just in. In the early 90s, a guy named Mark Peltier figured this out. His company, Aromasis, started pumping custom fragrances through Casino's ventilation. The Mirage, tropical coconut and mango. The Venetian uses something called Arancha, white jasmine, rose, mandarin, musk. These aren't just pleasant smells. Designers call them olfactory anchors. Once your brain links a specific scent to the rush of excitement, you are coded. Smell something similar months later, your body pulls you back. You won't even know why. Here's a question. The average slot machine player, how long do you think they sit in one session? 1 hour? Maybe 2 hours? 3.5 hours. Some go past 8 without standing up. Red light in gaming zones. It simulates arousal, raises heart rate, pushes riskier bets. That's not a guess. It's published by the National Institutes of Health. This is where it stops being about rooms. This is new chemistry. Watch, 2 jackpot symbols lined up. The third stops 1 click above. That's a loss, technically. But your brain doesn't read that way. Research from NIH and Wesleyan confirmed it. A near miss activates the exact same reward pathways as a real win. Same dopamine, same brain regions. Your body celebrates a loss? Same dopamine for losing. Read it again. And then there's what Dr. Mike Dixon at the University of Waterloo calls losses disguised as wins. You bet $5. Machine returns 1. You just lost 4. But listen to what happened next. Jingles, slides, applaud. Your palms sweat. Your body can tell the difference between this and the real win. But the deepest cut, not the sounds, the money. Or the deeper appearance of it. Casinos killed cash years ago, replace it with digital credits. Tito, ticket in, ticket out. No coin, no coins, no bills, just numbers. Behavioral economists call it pain of paying. Physical cash, it hurts to let go. Your brain registers real loss, but a number on a screen, that's just more chances to play. Anthropologist Natasha Dow-Schul spent years studying this. She calls the end state the machine zone. Some researchers call it dark flow. It's a trance. Hunger disappears. Time disappears. Your sense of self, gone. Winning or losing stops mattering. The only thing left is the loop, the rhythm, next spin and next. Okay, the oxygen thing. You have probably heard it. Casinos pump pure oxygen through the vents to keep you wired. Great story. It's completely wrong. 3 reasons. 1. Pure oxygen is a fire accelerant. In a building where people smoke, 1 spark and the place burns down. 2. Pumping medical grade oxygen into a space this size would cost millions a month. 3. It's a felony. Secretly introducing any substance into public ventilation is a serious crime. The myth started with Mario Puzo, the guy behind The Godfather. In his 1978 novel Full Style, a character claims it. Fiction became urban legend. And honestly, the truth might be scarier. They don't need oxygen. They call the air, the sense, the lighting that never changes. Your own adrenaline from 12 straight hours of play. The building itself is a drug. Or no. Here's the problem with everything I just showed you. Friedman's model, the maze, the low ceilings, the walls of slot machines. It worked for 30 years, and then it started failing. Players felt trapped, anxious, claustrophobic. Their brain just burned out, and instead of playing longer, they just left. The trap got too obvious, and obvious traps don't work. Enter Roger Thomas, Steve Wynn's partner, and the man who broke every rule Friedman's wrote. High ceilings instead of low, sculptures and silk instead of bare walls, natural light through skylights, $1 million art collections on the gaming floor. He called his philosophy evoke-architecture. Emotion plus architecture. A space designed to make you feel not trapped, not lost, not anxious. The result? Bellagio generated the highest single casino profit in Vegas history at the time. Friedman built a trap. Thomas built a paradise. And the paradise made more money because you don't need to lock someone in. You just need them to never want to leave. A study from the University of Guelph in Canada confirms the paradox. Thomas' playground model generates more satisfaction, more psychological restoration. Players feel relaxed, comfortable, energized, and that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Because the fatigue that would normally force you to stop never comes. You feel good, so you keep playing. Both methods work. Friedman holds you through disorientation. You can't leave. Thomas holds you through comfort. You don't want to. Modern casinos use both. Same floor. Hybrid. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Our team actually worked very long on it. Leave a comment about our new animations, about new parts and so on. Let us know what to add or take away.